President Donald Trump has signaled a major escalation in the United States campaign against international drug trafficking, announcing that the U.S. will soon begin targeting drug cartels on land. The statement marks a sharp shift from months of U.S. military operations focused primarily on maritime interdictions in the Caribbean Sea and surrounding regions, where vessels accused of transporting narcotics have been repeatedly struck. Before we go deeper into what this means and how it could reshape U.S. foreign policy, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest breaking developments in this rapidly evolving story. Trump's comments come amid one of the most dramatic foreign policy moves of his presidency. Over the weekend, U.S. forces captured Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife Celia Flores during a large-scale military operation in Caracas. According to the Trump administration, both were transported to the United States to face narcotics trafficking charges tied to alleged drug networks operating throughout the region. The operation also included strikes on infrastructure in northern Venezuela and a raid on Maduro's residence in the capital. The White House and Pentagon have defended recent lethal strikes by stating that many of the targeted vessels and sites were linked to members of Tren de Aragua, a Venezuelan criminal organization that was designated a foreign terrorist group last year. U.S. officials argue that these groups pose a direct threat to American security and are responsible for flooding the United States with illegal drugs. In addition to military action, the Trump administration has sought to assert control over Venezuela's oil industry. Officials have stated that Venezuela would turn over between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil to the United States, a move that critics say ties economic leverage directly to military pressure. Supporters of the administration, however, argue that controlling energy flows is a necessary step in dismantling cartel funding networks. International reaction has been swift and largely critical. Leaders in Brazil, Mexico, and Russia condemned the U.S. operation, warning that unilateral military intervention risks destabilizing the region and setting a dangerous precedent. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum rejected the actions outright, stating that intervention has never brought lasting democracy or stability, and that Mexico categorically opposes interference in the internal affairs of other nations. Despite the backlash, President Trump doubled down on his approach. Speaking during an interview on Fox News, he said the United States would now expand its campaign beyond sea-based operations. Trump claimed that cartels are effectively running Mexico and suggested that striking them on land is the next logical step. He did not provide operational details or timelines, but the message was unmistakable. The scope of U.S. action is widening. The announcement has raised significant questions among legal experts, lawmakers, and foreign policy analysts. Expanding land-based operations could blur the line between military action and law enforcement, potentially increasing tensions with neighboring countries. Critics argue such moves could violate international law if conducted without consent or authorization, while supporters contend that cartels now operate with capabilities similar to terrorist organizations and require a stronger response. Domestically, the situation has reignited debate over presidential war powers and the role of Congress in authorizing military force. Some lawmakers have called for clarity on the legal justification for both the strikes in Venezuela and any future land operations against cartels. Others have praised the administration for taking decisive action against what they view as a national security emergency. As the United States prepares for what could be a new phase in its war on drugs, uncertainty remains high. Whether land-based strikes will reduce cartel influence or further destabilize the region is a question that has yet to be answered. What is clear is that U.S. foreign policy has entered a bold and controversial chapter, one that could have lasting consequences far beyond Latin America. We will continue to follow this story closely and bring you verified updates as new information emerges. If you found this report helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for ongoing coverage, and share it with others who want clear, fact-based news without the noise.